Workflow, guys. Workflow. What is workflow? Workflow is basically what you're doing with your computer. And if you have to make your own workflow from scratch, I think you're in problem. Especially if you're going to use time on it. Okay, let me explain. Say that you are conflicting in using, or you're in a conflict in your head with using either a window manager or a distro manager. A tiling window manager, you basically have to configure everything yourself to have a good workflow. The i3 standard workflow or the shortcuts and everything sucks. I know everything about it. I've used i3 for over a year. It sucks. You have to configure everything by yourself. And it's fun to do. But then you start to think, like now in the past 3 months, I started thinking, what time have I used to get rid of all my bloat workflow? And by bloat workflow, I mean the kind of Windows Microsoft philosophy for using a computer. Like you have a start menu, or you have an application menu, you have a GUI for settings. For instance, I work in a conference center, and just connecting a projector or a display to your system to show in a meeting room. In Microsoft or in GNOME or in Mac or in XFCE, everything just pops up. And if you have to arrange your screen, sometimes you want to duplicate your screen, sometimes you want to extend your screen. There's an easy GUI explanation for that in GNOME, Microsoft, and XFCE, and all the other. And you can also get it in i3, and DVM and everything, but that is bloat now. You have to do everything in ARandar or XRandar, and that is like in the terminal. And I'm just thinking, why are we doing this? We're spending so much time doing our workflow and try to tweak our workflow that we basically all the time that we have basically spent in doing the workflow, we have used to work out our workflow. And that is kind of like a dilemma. So here for a couple of months ago, I did a little soul searching, and I got a new computer, and I was deciding if I'm going to install the i3 or if I'm going to try something new, maybe Awesome or DVM or something like that. And because I was like watching Unix porn fucking every day. When I'm in lunch break or if I had 10 minutes, I went in there. Call me a boomer, I don't care, but I was going in there looking at all these beautiful desktops. And I've done that for years, like going there with not every day, but almost every day, just to look at it. I also joined the Discord server for some fucking reason, I don't know. But there was like this moment, and I was thinking, what am I actually doing on my private computer? What I do? What is like my what do I work with when I'm using my computer? One thing is YouTube. I do a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. And second thing, I configure my home servers. I have a home lab or self-hosted servers here in my apartment, media servers and file servers, Nextcloud and so forth. So I configure a lot of servers, and I'm playing with that, with Docker, and so I'm using that, and that means I'm using a lot of SSH, but I'm also using a lot of web GUI. What else am I doing? Okay, I'm browsing G and 4chan. I'm browsing Reddit. I'm doing some editing in my config files. But it's basically everything is mainly my browser. So do I really need a tiling window manager? I'm basically what I'm doing, even if I have a tiling window manager, I'm usually just have one window open and in two workspaces, because I'm maybe having music on one workspace and then I have a Firefox in another. So it's full screen both, and I'm only using one screen. So am I really needing of a tiling window manager? Because when I'm opening a terminal, Alt-Tab is working fine. So, and I'm also started to noticing, because I have to work, my work computer is a Windows. I have to work it because I have one program left. It's a CRM system. So after I'm done with that CRM system, which we are probably going to change to a web-based CRM system, then I can finally move to Linux and my work computer as well. But then I'm starting, because when I'm using the tiling window manager, I was starting to see that I'm actually like alt-tabbing. It's like a basic thing you have to do in Windows. But you can't do that in a tiling window. You could do it, you can configure it to do it, but there's no use for it. So then I was thinking, maybe I should just, when I had my new laptop, I was thinking, maybe I should just install GNOME. I haven't tried it in a while. I've read a lot about it. I saw that Wolfgang did a perfect video on it. He said, or in one of his live streams. So I was thinking, okay, I should try GNOME. I've used XFCE before I used the i3 tiling i3. So basically I was, okay, I have to try something new. I want to try it. So I installed Arch with GNOME on top. Also used Wayland. Because do I really need something like, do I need the screen recorder or anything? No, not on my private computer. If I need to record, I can just go into Xorg if I want to. So in my workflow, and I think most people today use a lot of time, and when I'm saying people, I mean people who browse Unix porn, watch DistroTube, watch Wolfgang, watch Luke Smith, watch all these people who are usually using tiling window manager, having all these config file how-tos and stuff like that. I think people like that are who, like me, are using too much time configuring their own, basically, desktop, when you can get a perfectly good one and you don't have to configure anything. One thing I have took from i3 that I've configured in GNOME is Super NQ, because that was my automatic closing button. That is something I'm actually missing on my work computer, where I'm using Windows 10. So yeah, it's something getting used to, because also on my work computer I have a ThinkPad, so I use I use the knob to move around. instead of my touch, or the, not the touchpad, what's it called? Yeah, the standard mouse. So it's like unusual. You just press it up and then you go to the X. So that's my workflow on my work computer. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking that I think we use too much time configuring our desktops. We use too much time not watching Luke Smith and DistroTube, because they are great content creators. I like them. I love them. But I think all the rising of your desktop and your all the configuring for making your Spotify look like a terminal, that is bloat. That is bloat. You have a program that you need to have another program to run. So you're basically adding, it's bloat. So I don't know. It's like, if you're going to have the suckless philosophy and you're going to have a minimum bloat system, you're going to spend a lot of time configuring your computer, your desktop, and it's going to take a lot of time. And time is something, when you get a little older, like me, maybe, I don't know, 31. So I'm guessing you're going to need your time to do other things, like work, like doing something, other things. So maybe you get, because when I configure my servers, I get something out of it. I get, like, if my media server, if I do something, my friends and family have a great joy in watching all my images and stuff like that. My file server or my Nextcloud server, it's fun to do because I'm giving something to my mom to protect her and back up her images, and it's also something that you can use in your work, if you know what I mean. Is you're learning how a system is set up, you're learning how things go through a network and stuff like that. So for me, it's like, I love the desktop. I'm always going to use the desktop, but what are you actually using it for? Yeah. So my recommendation is block r/Unix porn on Reddit. Don't join the Discord channel. It's too time consuming. Hit a like on all the videos for DistroTube and Luke Smith and all the guys who I mentioned. Mental Outlaw, great guy. And yeah, think about your workflow before you start configuring your fucking desktop, because I don't think it's worth it. Okay, yeah. This was kind of a rant, and I've drinking a couple of glasses of wine, but hopefully you guys get what I'm saying, that I'm not too rambly, because I'm trying to, time is basically money now, you know. When you're old, time is money, and when you start picking out things from your life, like friends, you actually pick out friends. That's crazy. You pick out friends that you don't want to hang out with. And you also pick out, like, do I need this? Do I need that? I'm now thinking, do I need Netflix? I know it's crazy, but I'm going to need Netflix, but do I really need it? Do I need a car? I sold my car last year. Do I need it? No. I bought a scooter instead. I can use, okay, it's not a hindsight, it was probably not a good idea now, but when the winter is coming. But yeah, you have to cut off your time consuming and money consuming things and try to live more bloat. You have to live more bloat to get rid of other bloats. You have positive bloats and you have negative bloats, okay? I'm starting a cult. I don't know, guys. It was just a rant. Thank you. I won't bother you guys anymore. Have a great evening.